Hello, my name is Nicole Jimenez, and this is my social justice and advocacy project. So my project focuses on the undocumented immigrant community and, who are the undocumented immigrants? So the Department of Homeland Security defines undocumented immigrants as all foreign-born non-citizens who are not legal residents. So these are the people who may have entered the nation without inspection, or they were admitted temporarily and remained past the date that they were required to depart. So why do they come into the United States? They may come in as refugees or as asylum seekers. They have been fleeing from issues such as natural disasters or more domestic issues like domestic violence, police brutality. They may have come, and all of them have come in to the United States wishing for a better life for themselves or for their family. So children may have been brought in by their parents, or they may just be coming in looking for economic opportunities. So going over some statistics, in 2017, of the foreign-born population estimates in the United States, 23% were categorized as unauthorized immigrants, otherwise known as undocumented or illegal immigrants. 77% were lawful immigrants, meaning they were either temporary lawful, lawful permanent, or naturalized citizens. And then the majority of the undocumented immigrant community as of 2015 to 2018 were estimated to be between the ages of 35 to 44. The next biggest age group was that of 25 to 34. And as far as gender, in each age category, there were not many gender differences between the immigrants entering. So where are they coming from? The majority of undocumented immigrants between the years of 2015 to 2018 came from Mexico, followed by El Salvador, Guatemala, India, Honduras, China, Philippines, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela. And then those of the refugees entering, which is a much smaller number. Most of them, almost nearly half of them, came from the Republic of Congo, followed by Burma or Myanmar, then Ukraine, Eritrea, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Sudan, El Salvador, Colombia, and so on. So what are the issues that the undocumented community faces? And they're all very interconnected to each other. So overall, it's the fear of deportation. So this fear can increase their anxiety and stress around others, which also leads to their decreased trust they have in other people and organizations, which leads to the lack of social support and lack of communication. So if they're not trusting other people, they don't have other people to rely on, they don't have sources of information, and they're just not talking to each other about who can help them, who can not help them, and where can they go to get help, which leads to them missing a lot of opportunities. So they miss out on opportunities for legal services, educational services, or career opportunities. So my first action plan is very similar to the previous slide below. It tries to address some of these issues, mainly that of communication. So like I said, the fear of deportation can lead to high levels of stress and impact their daily living, and these levels of stress and their fear has been shown to be particularly elevated after former President Trump's negative statements and throughout his 2016 to 2020 administration. And this all leads to them being unaware of the services that are available to them, as well as any of the rights that do exist to protect them, because despite the fact that they have entered the country illegally, they do have rights that can protect them and their family. Overall, this all leads to a lack of awareness of the services available to them and or rights that can protect them, thus leading to undocumented immigrants missing out on opportunities such as higher paying jobs or getting into university. So this lack of social connection, like I said, leads to difficulties communicating between members of the community. It's very difficult to gather the undocumented immigrants and share these resources because none of them will trust someone that says, come over here, we'll tell you all about these things that can help you out, because that kind of sounds like a trap. And this leads to a lot of missed opportunities. So they're not going into these places to tell them they can help. They're not looking for places that can help them, and mostly because they're scared to, if they start to look, maybe it'll look suspicious, and thus they're just unable to change their circumstances. So the objective of this plan was to spread information to the undocumented community about resources available mostly within the Los Angeles County. And I decided to do this through social media posts in Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. And I chose social media because of its widespread reach. Anyone can really get in and look at the posts as long as they have internet connection. And it also allows for a certain amount of anonymity because they don't really have to interact with the posts just to see them. So here are the first 4 images in the social media posts that I put up. 3 of the organizations I talked about were the California Immigrant Youth Justice Alliance, the LA County of Immigrant Affairs, and the Torah Dreamers Success Center here at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So go over a little bit about that. The California Immigrant Youth Justice Alliance is a youth-led group. It's statewide, so it's here based in California. They mostly focus on helping the immigrant youth on their path to becoming advocates. So they have projects that help ensure that the current immigration policies work effectively to protect immigrants. They have campaigns to spread awareness about issues surrounding immigration, and they also have several petitions on their website that they advertise concerning issues and immigration policy. The slide on the LA County of Immigrant Affairs mostly concerned the issues of the coronavirus vaccine. So a lot of immigrants don't really know that their healthcare is one of the things that are protected for them. Their information is safe. Doctors and insurance companies cannot legally provide cannot share any of the information that you provide, and that includes immigrants. So the other thing is that the vaccine, getting it or not, will not impact their current or future immigration status. They also don't need to provide any legal documents such as Social Security, residency card, or a government-issued ID to get the vaccine. So for the Torah Dreamers Center, a lot of universities have Dreamer Centers that serve the undocumented students of the university community, and the Torah Dreamers Success Center is one such place. They offer workshops, forums, legal services, so on and so forth, and these services are available to current students, to their families, and it's all available even after they graduate. These next 3 images were the final images of my social media post. So that it has the last 2 organizations, KIND, otherwise known as Kids Need Defense, and Immigrants Rising. So KIND offers services and pro bono legal services to undocumented migrant and refugee children. They also offer housing referrals. Most of all, they try to ensure that no unaccompanied child appears in the immigration courts, without a fair and high quality representation. So they're not forced to involuntarily migrate. They want to make sure that these children are protected and that their rights are upheld. And the Immigrants Rising organization, it's very similar to Dreamers Centers. They work to help students get financial aid and apply for colleges. They may also help members find work or internships to help support their families and themselves. They provide legal services for immigration petitions and for the immigration courts. They have support groups and mental health services. Everyone is continually trained to better understand the unique experiences of the undocumented youth. And so, as you might have noticed, every slide has a link to each individual organization, and the final image shows all of the links for every single organization just on one image. So if somebody had seen the post, if they were interested in just one organization, they could take a screenshot of that one single image, or they could take a screenshot of that last one. So as far as my second action plan, the literature mainly tried to target the issues of undocumented students. Undocumented students tend to lack social support, preparation for college, and financial aid. They're very stressed at this time, and the fact that nobody can really help them because they're first generation students. They tend to be first generation students. Their parents may not know how to help them, their family doesn't really know how to help them, and then they have to go through a completely different financial aid process, and this all accumulates to just a lot of stress and burdens on these students, which can lead to them dropping out of college, which is unfortunate because their education could help further their goals of getting legal status. So the undocumented students that try to look for assistance may turn to the professors, only to find that the professors are ill-equipped to do so. A lot of times they may find it easier to connect with professors that they know are in the know, or they have similar backgrounds and ethnicities, and even then they may not know how to help them. It was found that universities do not prepare professors of being capable of providing assistance to them, so these students often end up going on very long searches to find the answers to their questions. So my second action plan was to do a letter to the university president, and overall I wanted to help the undocumented students feel more comfortable in their academic environment, as well as be able to get the answers they want. So I provided in the letter details of the research done in other universities that have similar issues. So the literature mentioned in the previous slide, I had included information on that. And then I provided details on the Tor Dreamers Success Center's undocumented student ally training workshop as a way to address the issue and help prepare professors for these questions. So the training workshop is available to everyone on campus, students, staff, faculty, and it helps talk about the issues undocumented students may face, how to be a better ally to them, and it provides a decal that it can be a subtle sign to these students who know about the training that these are people who can understand them and know how to help. Overall, the letter asks for President Parham's support in having some kind of training done, or to at least make professors aware of how to help the undocumented students, where to refer them to, and such. So this is the letter that I had composed. These are my references, and that is all. Thank you.